I want you to imagine something for me. You're lying on a hospital bed. It's fine, it's routine. The doctor smiles and tells you to count backward from 10. 10, 9, 8. You don't even reach 5. The world goes soft, and then it goes black. Easy, painless. You've done nothing but fall asleep. Now imagine you wake up, but you're not in the recovery room. You're still on the table. The lights are still bright above you. You can hear the surgeons talking. Calm, casual, someone's laughing about the weekend. And then you feel it. Cold metal against your stomach, pressure, and then pain. Real, tearing pain. You try to scream. Nothing comes out. You try to lift your hand, move a finger, anything. Your body will not answer you. Because the anesthesia was supposed to do two things: switch off your mind and freeze your body. Only one of them worked. Your body is asleep. You are not. And the surgery has already begun. This is not a horror movie. This is a documented medical phenomenon called anesthesia awareness, and it's believed to happen to 1 or 2 people out of every 1,000 who go under general anesthesia. Do the math on how many surgeries happen every single day, and the number becomes very uncomfortable very fast. To understand how this is even possible, you need to know what anesthesia actually is, because it's not sleep. It never was. When you sleep, your brain is still working. It reacts to sound, to touch, to pain. If someone cut you open while you were sleeping, you'd wake up instantly. General anesthesia is something else entirely. It's a carefully balanced chemical shutdown. One drug switches off your consciousness, another erases your memory, a third paralyzes your muscles so completely that a machine has to breathe for you. 3 separate systems, 3 separate drugs, and here's the part nobody tells you before they wheel you in. Doctors have no direct way to see your consciousness. They can measure your heart rate, your blood pressure, your oxygen, but whether you, the person inside, are actually switched off, that they have to estimate. Most of the time the estimate is right, but sometimes the dose of the consciousness drug is just slightly too low. Maybe the patient is a heavy drinker with a high tolerance. Maybe they're in trauma surgery where doctors deliberately use lighter doses because the body is too weak. Maybe the equipment fails quietly. And when that happens, the paralytic keeps working perfectly while the mind wakes up inside a body that has been completely disconnected. You can't move, you can't blink, you can't even breathe on your own. The machine does it for you in a rhythm you don't control. The only thing left is feeling and hearing everything. In 2006, a Baptist minister from West Virginia named Sherman Sizemore went in for exploratory abdominal surgery. 16 incisions. He reportedly felt them. He heard the operating room around him, tried desperately to signal that he was awake, and couldn't move a single muscle. He survived the surgery, but what happened on that table followed him out of the hospital. He stopped sleeping. He became terrified of being left alone. 2 weeks later, he took his own life. His family sued, and the case became one of the most cited examples of what anesthesia awareness can do to a human mind. Because here's what researchers discovered when they finally started studying survivors. The physical pain isn't even the worst part. Survivor after survivor said the same thing. The worst part was the helplessness. Lying there, screaming inside a body that had gone silent while everyone in the room believed you were gone. One woman, Donna Penner, went in for routine abdominal surgery in Canada. The anesthetic failed. The paralytic didn't. She later described feeling the scalpel cut into her, and the moment she realized that no one knew. She tried to move her feet. She tried to cry. Her body gave the surgeons nothing. She spent the entire operation conscious, and afterward, the trauma reshaped her whole life. Nightmares, flashbacks. She couldn't work again. And this is where the story turns into something even more unsettling. Because hospitals didn't discover this problem by listening to patients. For decades, patients who reported being awake were often dismissed, told they dreamed it, told it was impossible. Some were quietly offered apologies. Many were simply not believed because their memories included real details from the operating room, and that was too disturbing to accept. It took until the 1990s and 2000s for large studies to confirm what survivors had been saying all along. When researchers interviewed thousands of surgical patients afterward, the pattern was undeniable. A small but consistent percentage remembered things: conversations, music, pressure, and in the worst cases, pain. So the medical world tried to build a solution, a machine called a BIS monitor, a sensor on the forehead that reads brainwaves and converts consciousness into a number. 100 means fully awake, 0 means no brain activity. Surgeons aim to keep you around 40 to 60. Sounds like the problem is solved, right? Not quite, because when researchers ran major trials, they found the monitor could be fooled. Some patients showed asleep numbers while later recalling events from their surgery. The brain, it turns out, doesn't switch off like a light. It fades unevenly, and some parts can keep listening while the rest goes dark. Which raises a question that anesthesiologists still argue about today. How many people experience awareness during surgery and simply never remember it? Because one of the 3 drugs erases memory. Some researchers believe the true number of awareness events is far higher than reported. The patients just have no recollection that it happened. The experience occurred, the memory was deleted. Think about that for a second. The scream happened. It just didn't get saved. So, what does this mean for you the next time you're being wheeled toward an operating room? First, the honest context. Anesthesia is still one of the safest routine miracles in modern medicine. Millions of operations happen every year where patients feel nothing, remember nothing, and wake up exactly as promised. Full awareness with pain is rare, but rare is not 0, and the risk isn't spread evenly. It's higher in emergency C-sections, trauma surgery, and heart surgery, cases where lighter anesthesia is safer for the body but riskier for the mind. It's higher in patients with a history of heavy alcohol or certain medications, and it's higher when the paralytic is used, because the paralytic is the thing that takes away your only alarm system, movement. There's one more detail that stays with you once you know it. Anesthesiologists have a saying about their job that the drugs don't just need to keep you alive, they need to keep you away. And in the small gap between those 2 jobs, on very rare occasions, someone slips through. Awake, silent, present for everything. The person on the table at the start of this story, the cold metal, the laughter, the pain, that's not invented. It's drawn from real survivor testimony, repeated across decades in country after country. Different hospitals, different surgeries. The same sentence, again and again, from people who lived it. I was there the whole time, and nobody knew. The next time someone tells you to count backward from 10, you'll probably be fine. Almost everyone is.